So we want to make this session interactive. And thank you, Bob, for that introduction. And welcome to Las Vegas. To ensure your participation, thanks to OboPay, we've brought along some 100% cotton incentives. Go mobile with your money, courtesy of OboPay. There will be some opportunities to win one of these t-shirts along the way. Now, in considering mobile, I thought we might take a historical perspective and look at automated teller machines. You think about when ATMs were first introduced back in the 60s. And they've grown to dominate the dispensing of cash today. And what's interesting is how they dispense cash. It's not only through a bank's network. How many of you have an ATM card? Show of hands. All right, I don't have that many t-shirts, so we're going to have to narrow the playing field here. How many of you use an ATM other than your own bank's in order to get cash and willingly incur a fee? All right, a lot of you. Let's open the bidding up at 4 times a month. How many do it 4 times a month? 4 going once, 4. You mark out some numbers. Who's got more than 4 times a month? Anybody? 10 times a month. We got 10 times a month going once. Anybody got more than 10? 10 times a month? May I introduce you? Could I trouble you to stand, please? May I introduce to you what we call in banking the transactor. We all hail to the transactor. Hold on, Phil. Can you tell me why you go to a bank's ATM, other than your own bank's, and willingly incur a fee?
I travel a lot and it's convenient.
It's all about convenience, right? So if you think about it, ATMs were really a new channel for banks. And here we have a transactor that's willing to incur a fee as a part of the convenience. In fact, these fees over time have continually grown to a $4.5 billion, that's with a B, billion-dollar industry. In fact, 20% of consumers state that the surcharge on the fees has no effect on their use of a foreign ATM. 15% of consumers say that they pay more than $10 per month on this. So when we think about the mobile channel, what I'd encourage you to think about is what is the revenue generating opportunity? And using ATMs as a historical perspective, think about how you define your strategy. ATMs, when they were first released, maybe I shouldn't say, but I studied this as my senior thesis in college. And at the time, the issue was, will ATMs generate more deposits than withdrawals? Anybody remember that? The business case was based on whether it was going to generate more deposits. And where did we install ATMs at first? Inside the branch, right? It wasn't until we started to extend the placement of these ATMs beyond the branch, and we tied them together in a network, that we started to create a new revenue-generating opportunity. It wasn't about just reducing the cost of doing business, right, by replacing tellers. It turned into its own line of business. And so as you look at your mobile strategy, this is the continuum of options. Is it going to just be about reducing the cost of doing business, deflecting calls from the contact center? Or is it going to be a service parity issue? That is just to maintain loyalty and build a relationship and be on par with competitors so you don't lose customers that you deploy the service? Or are there ways to create new lines of business and profit contribution by fulfilling the mass customization promise? That is, services anytime, anywhere, for anybody. In fact, there's this whole idea around turbocharging the services. So in terms of turbocharging, what we mean is recycling or taking information today that is just flowing out the back door of our processing operations, right? And so what a turbocharger does is it takes exhaust and recharges it through the engine and gives it a boost in power. There are opportunities to recharge and turbocharge banking services by taking data and connections that are just wasted today in the infrastructure. What does turbocharging mean to banking? Well, take some classic examples. The OAG was worth more than airlines. TV Guide was worth more than networks. And look at Google, right? Started in 1996. They have a market cap that's more than a bank that was started in 1896, right? It's the value of packaging the information. And so when you think about banking, you have to ask yourself, what business are we in? We're in the information business. And using this delivery channel is an opportunity to put new services in front of the customer. In fact, the mobile form factor is really a turbocharging vehicle for speeding the access, providing greater convenience in a way that ATMs could never do, building loyalty through doing that, and generating new forms of offers and alerts that come through the infrastructure. So as we look for a proxy for where mobile can go, we have to remember that its lowest common denominator, and the thing that we use it for everything, is for voice. So just to kind of set the stage on this, I want to time how long it takes everybody in the room to pull up their debit card. On your marks, get set, go. 1,